All right. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Mia. Yeah, first thing I say is, too. Doesn't that suck? They got a video on it. Now, I'm here to talk about a terrifying subject. And it's all about love. So, today, hi, Bill Russell, William, Sir William. Anyhow, we're talking about love today. And, I am so frustrated. I mean, you get a bitch like me, open her big mouth, discuss love on every level with people, and now I'm getting tormented by the dating game. I'm not really sure what's going on. And is Mr. Computer Head a computer that wants to take in information on me so the AI won't be fucking stupid and want to kill everybody? I don't know. I keep hearing things. Now, I know that y'all know, that you guys know, that humans are way far more intelligent than machines. So I can't imagine Mr. Computerhead is a fucking rogue AI that just fucks with people. Ooh, both ears, both ears. Strong in the right ear. Like I've told you guys, this neurolinguistic programming and these advanced forms of technology that they can either use for your benefit or not. Well, I believe they've used them for my benefit, and I've been witnessing about all that. But part of the deal after they worked on me, so it seems, hey Mary, how you doing? Is that I will get tones in my ears depending on the message they're sending me or the message I'm sending out into the universe. And after I said that, it was both ears, and that's why I said that. They may be messing with me today in my head a little bit, you know, knocking me around because the subject is, do you fear more? Do you fear love more than you love? And they've been watching. And I say that I love more and that I don't fear love. So, we're going to talk about it a little bit. I got some great videos. And not to be what I would call prejudice, but today's conversation will have absolutely nothing to do with the love for your children, because that's obvious and everybody should have that memo already, but like we're learning with this disclosure, I mean, if I have to talk about that, then we're never going to talk about the bigger subject. So, I've got three categories of love. And I figured it out, I think, between King Lear and this this thing I'm going to show you. I don't know. COOKY. So, hang on. This is also a conversation that is strictly between this battle of the sexes. So I'm sorry for any of all the different variations and flavors of people. This conversation is probably not going to interest you either, because this is about this battle of the sexes that I got told was over a year ago, and here I am still dicking around. Got my panties in a bunch. If I wore panties, they'd be all bunched up. It's a good thing about not wearing panties, y'all. You don't gotta get it all twisted, right? Get a string up your ass or something. I don't know. Okay, so let me share the screen. And let's just be calm about all this. And before I go any farther, I thought it would be prudent of me to play a disclosure because this is strictly for fucking educational purposes only, and there is no profit being made off of this. This is one of those things that, I mean, it's given freely, just like the love is. And that doesn't mean you're a hose bag either. That means that you have different kinds of love. So, I was talking to one of my oldest friends today. I don't mean age-wise, I mean duration of time. I guess he is one of my oldest friends, too. He was one of my first boyfriends that I never engaged in any kind of physicality with. Jeez. He's a president of a company. And we'll talk more about it after I do my little fucking set me free disclosure. It's really important. Here it is. Where's the volume? Under common law, so be it. That's one of our kinds of love. I know the music sucks. It's from the iMovie. I know. Okay. Oh God, don't look. No, no, no. 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 And you want to know why nobody can love anybody and nobody can trust anybody? Pop me up something like that next. Maybe I put it on the playlist. Who knows? It could be. Because here's what I did, you guys. Whoa. Don't knock the tea over. Here's what I did. Is I shared my Suze on Off Planet TV with Randy Morgan's YouTube playlist. It's such an interesting place. And that's where we played our little disclosure from, and that's where we start the show. Okay. 3 kinds of love. Kooky. That's the first kind of love.
Hey, thanks for the thumbs out there in live land. How you doing?
I got it right here on this paper towel. And then we've got common. And we've got cosmic. So you want me to tell you a little about these, I'm sure. So what I'm going to do is I got a video to play, and I'm going to turn the volume down after the intro plays, and then I'll knock these 3 out short, and then maybe we can talk about them longer, or if anybody has any questions or whatever, you know, or if I come up with some brilliant
Thanks for the comment there. I'm well.
Now, we also got, because remember, most people can't trust somebody enough to truly love them unconditionally. And isn't that messed up? Why? Well, because somebody else did me dirty. But what's that have to do with this person? And what's that have to do with how you feel inside of yourself?
Yeah, the BBB
Or what arises
isn't your original YouTube.
This is one of my new necklaces I made. As the situation evolves.
Well,
I mean, see, most
there's
people
surely
listening to themselves.
pros and cons on each side of all of our different names we use on media.
I don't know.
I mean,
but I always think
we do the best we can.
Listen to themselves. Hi, Mia. You're gonna have to come back for the replay. That's cool, man.
And if you want to tell me who you are, that's great. And if you don't, I can totally respect that. I deal with it all day long.
Live stream, girl, and it wouldn't let me. I was froze. So I'm wondering if Mr. ComputerHead doesn't want me to talk about this. Although Mr.
Justin Baker. I know that name. Thank you.
I completely understand. Understand. And I should pinch myself because I've already said the bad word 3 times, and I shouldn't say it at all. I should be be over it, but I'm a little nervous, so thanks for being here. Talk soon. Okay. So, never ever trust the news again. Well, right, but the people that have figured that out now and are all screaming it like a choir of zombies. They didn't get the memo 30 years ago.
Let me see what you're
And
saying.
now, the war between
Just
the
PBB is
mainstream
what
and
I
alternative
sometimes go
because,
by.
oh yeah, guess what? They're funded by the same people.
I'll tell you what, Justin.
But people are just getting the memo, but saying...
I was made fun of because I only use...
Group, man.
My name's
See,
Suze Pratt.
For a couple years.
You know.
And it is pretty shocking.
I never knew to, like, dream up a name for myself.
The plan all along to get you to fear love more than walking into it open-hearted, into the unknown, and just be. There's no other way to do this. And I don't know why everybody plays around. So, we can't trust nothing. The news, people, or love. And now we don't know.
I think they're like good nicknames. Some of them stick, some of them don't.
Report on today too. As much as I've learned from
Suze is my nickname. My real name's Susanna.
They have shown me the truth. Been kind, considerate, benevolent. Taught me everything I needed to know about picking apart a Photoshop picture. And as I'm living and breathing, in all my humanity, I'm telling you, these pictures of this workout queen of, I don't know who the fuck she thinks she is. But either she purposely wears makeup the wrong color.
I'm going to move my thing over so I can read every word as we go through it, Justin.
Putting faces on bodies.
Right.
Because I've seen it with Sandro.
And I love to give somebody a great nickname. I always think it's fun.
And well, now that everybody got the memo, let's go running scared because now we realize that everything we thought we saw wasn't true. Maybe. And now you gotta really have your little love hat on, don't you? To know who's who and what's what. But all I got to say before I start this, and I'm speaking directly to the maestro, Mr. ComputerHead.
See, there's a nickname. There's another one.
The #1 international man of mystery that my dumb ass calls Mr. A.P.
Okay, I'm trying to hurry up and get inside. Gotcha.
I mean, you know, it's all a game.
What are you trying to get inside of?
They're gonna play the daggum dating game with me because you got more than 2 to begin with. You got fine-ass Sandro in the silk robe. You got all these musicians.
When my image goes fuzzy, you know the network's picked up. All these little different glitches, people call them.
And I'm speaking to people that don't speak English. What a trip that is for somebody that only speaks English.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, here I am, Susie Love, you know, talking my truth. And speaking heart to heart, and here I'm risking relationships because since everything's being watched and everybody's blah, 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 and you're on one side or the other and yakety squack, and there never was any secrets to begin. I told y'all there wasn't no secrets to begin with. Well, see, these other people didn't really exactly know.
I was outside smoking in a wheelchair.
I see. An individual human. And that's all I'm asking.
Well, I send you positive vibes for your alleviation of suffering.
I want to reach out and touch.
There are
and then
different home remedies. Let me silence myself. Hang on. Okay. So, of course, when I hear anyone suffering, the first thing I think of is castor oil. And no, you don't have to ingest it. You're putting it where your injury is. Like, let's say that you had a surgery. You know, you had a hip surgery or a knee replacement or something like that. what we want to do is use anything that's natural that first brings no harm above everything else. So you would take that castor oil pack, it would be saturated in some organic cotton, or sometimes people like wool. Wool's a clean material. And they wrap that around the affected area, and then they apply heat. Now, I can't tell you to use a heating pad because those bombard you with positive ions. So you'd either want a hot water bottle or a hot towel, but you would want to keep that castor oil warmed up on your body for anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours. The tricky thing with the castor oil is that you can't take that t-shirt or whatnot and put it in your washer. Okay, you had the major surgery after a work injury and you saw that video I did where my leg got torn up, right? I'd say castor oil would be very beneficial to you. And you can keep that castor oil poultice in your refrigerator and it'll stay good for at least 2 months. You know, you would reuse that same one, and before I put it on my body, I'd sure warm it up. You know, you've got it in a big plastic baggie and you'd float it in a bowl or a sink of hot water. And that way it's comfortable when you place it on yourself. You know, homeopathy is always the big thing I talk about. So if you have a health food store in your area, or if you're comfortable with the idea of cellular nutrition, it's not medication. It won't interfere with anything that they have you on currently. That's why I really don't ever, you don't hear me talk about aromatherapy or different things, because depending on how it's used and which oil it is, you can bring harm. I mean, just from simply not being educated on it as much as you need to. So, as far as smoking goes, I mean, you know I'm gonna say smoke them if you got them. A lot of people think that I'm full of shit, because why would I be so into all this natural healing and stuff if I smoke? Well, like I told people, when I started living for my blood type, which was about 15 years ago, and I had to deal with the idea that just what I was simply eating and drinking wasn't really good at all for my A blood type. So I eliminated a lot of poisons, knocked it down to 2 out of 10. And then, of course, you know, people say the first thing, well, then why do you smoke? And it's like, well, why are you bitching at me if I gave up the majority of my poisons? You know, people are never satisfied. And like I said, I've admitted many, many times that I'm not perfect. And everybody wants the information brought from somebody they perceive as perfect so they can put them on a pedestal and knock them back down. I'm just saying, let's survive this comfortably. So, I saw that you have a health food store around you. What you're looking for is the homeopathic tissue salts. So I'm going to kick my video on, and I'm going to go get you a bottle and show you specifically what you need. Talk in a couple minutes.
Kind of robotoid. Or clown. Isn't that funny? I'm laughing at Boots back there, you know, doing her thing in the background. She gets up on her back and she puts her feet out.
You ain't even kidding. We got to deal with it.
You know what they want.
Transmuted. Transmuted is what we're doing. Just BBB.
I just wanted to really hang out with y'all and talk about this because nobody can talk to me. Oh yeah, nobody can help me either. See, I'm on the mystery. I get to do it all by myself. Isn't that great? And I am a big girl now. I can do it. I'm an expert on love. Alright, COOKY is the first normal kind of love, isn't it? I think COOKY marriages and love relationships between people are those that don't have love. I mean, for real. Dopey didn't love me when he knocked me up. That's why he told me to get an abortion. Give me a fucking break. Sorry if it hurts anybody's feelings.
Hey, you got a pen or a pencil handy, my
He
friend?
learned to love me, but there was always that hate back there.
I'll be putting
Open the
bottles up
door.
in front of the screen.
Saying it's always the woman's fault. Fucking blow me sideways, man.
I'll give you a couple minutes.
I mean, I've done a lot of research on this. And remember, I don't care if you're in a woman's body or a man's body. Everybody's got a feminine side and a masculine side. And now you're into all the yakety squack about twin flame soulmates and alchemical marriages. And we're talking about that today. That falls under the cosmic flavor of a relationship between a man and a woman. Dadgummit. And of course, cosmic's in the middle. But back to kooky. Now,
All right,
you know,
here we go.
kooky unions between a man and a woman has been
Here's
the,
your
way-
first
the
one.
main promoter of war since people been killing people with rocks. Long before guns became the issue, which is the issue of the day. Give somebody enough rope, they hang themselves, you know. But marriages were arranged, of course, to retain property or money or wealth or power, which is all greedy.
Biochemic first aid.
So I guess
Always
maybe,
have this.
you know, even if you're in one of those, you know, fairy tale, life looks perfect kind of thing, you know, the
Here's your next one.
Cinderella and the Prince live happily ever after or something. Redheaded Cinderella, whatever, you know? I never even saw Redheaded Cinderella or Betty Boop until a couple months ago. Maybe even in the last month, right? We're not even halfway through April. I saw him in March, so. Okay.
Now,
These arranged
BBB,
marriages.
you must
Well,
vibe
let's
out
say that they tell you, hey man,
what
it's
you
your
feel
turn.
is going to be most beneficial
You'll
for
learn to love
you.
them.
So I've brought options
Well, shit, if you
and alternatives.
gotta be prompted like that,
Here comes your next one of my
eventually
favorites.
somebody's not gonna be very happy, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
It's
that was
there's
Poison
one
Oak.
song that says it all. May as well be the
Okay,
theme
hang
song.
on.
I put a spell on you.
Okay. So, Rux, Tox, Poison Oak, joint pain and stiffness from rheumatism, arthritis, or sprains that improve with gentle movement, skin irritation, itchy red blistering patches, poison ivy, rashes, hives, achy cold, and flu symptoms, eye inflammation. I think that when we see something like poison oak in parentheses, we have to immediately tag it to rashes, hives, and red blistering patches. Now, see, like you, okay, so you have an injury that really doesn't have to do with that, but we could associate yours with joint pain and stiffness from, you know, possibly rheumatoid arthritis or sprains that improve with gentle movement. Right. So remember, it's always with homeopathy the most minute amount of active ingredient. And, you know, one of the first laws of homeopathy and healing was like cures like. So sometimes we do see things that put up that red flag, BBB, but your ferrum phosphate, the iron phosphate, that is your biochemic first aid, okay? It is an inflammation reducer. It helps with redness, heat, and throbbing pain. I had a broken tibia fibia. Oh, wow. Man, you got jacked up. Okay, so I would say that the one we want to go to is Arnica, Montana. I always remember my gram always used arnica. It was in a liquid form. And of course, she would rub it on to help all of her injuries. And believe me, she was a workhorse. One time I saw her shoulder dislocate and go through the old wringer, the old masher washing machines. And I remember that she grabbed that arnica. Your injuries are not topical, they're pretty major. Exactly. That's why I say we really do need to go in. Okay, so your fair phos, the iron phosphate. The last one was arnica. I'm going to hold that back up. But the fair phos, when you start that, you do what's called a mega dose. And that would be 4 of these little pills every 15 minutes for the first 2 hours. They have no coating on them. They are just cellular nutrition. Can you see them there in the lid? Now, you're not supposed to touch them because your body oils can break them down. So from the lid, they get tossed under the tongue. They kind of taste like candy cigarettes, okay? Now, the really important thing about this is you don't want to open them with any strong smells in the room. So let's say you keep them in your kitchen and you're cooking dinner and you've got the garlic out. You could depotentize the entire bottle. So, um, I mean, they're really inexpensive. They're $8.99 for a bottle of 500 tablets. And the phone number is 1-800 homeopathy. Believe it or not, it was actually manufactured here right in St. Louis, going back to 1853. A very suspicious fire brought an end to that manufacturing hub. Now it's in California. All right, so back to the arnica. Arnica montana. Um, leopard's bane. That's interesting, isn't it? So, after you run your mega dose, this is your introduction in. Then, what you would do is start taking this. And what you would also do is trust yourself and do it PYD. Yes, most of those accidents are suspicious. Right, sure they are. You would do a PYD, which means you're smart enough to know how often you want to take these things. You can't overdose on them. It's just cellular nutrition here again. They're the building blocks of our body. Going all the way back to the Bible, believe it or not. Yeah, sure. Arnica, Montana. Right here. And I'll go ahead and read it to you. Bruises and muscular pain, soreness from injury, overexertion, strain, lifting or coughing, surgery or dental work to minimize pain and bleeding, joint and back pain, and stiffness, and most importantly, shock and its after effects. See, to me, I would have you purchase both of these. And at $8.99 a bottle, you're going to skate out of there with a $20 bill and some change. Now, there is muscular aches and cramps, and that's nice too. I mean, none of these, you really can't go wrong with any of them. But what we're doing here, BBB, is we're talking about what is known as amelioration of symptoms. So, like, an amelioration of symptom would be when they say when it's better or worse. Like, it is worst when it's hot, better when it's cold, better in the morning. You know, that they break it all down like that. So when I read the front of the bottle, what I do is play a counting game in my head and see which one is strongest in my belief. So muscular aches and cramps is a combination. So you can see when I hold that up, what they've done, let me pull that back. They've combined arnica. I can't read it through my screen. I have to stand above it. This is a little tricky. Hang on. Okay. Arnica, bryonia, simicifuga, magnesium phos, rux tox, ruts grav, and lactose. So what they did is these got really popular is they started creating combinations for people instead of, say, someone purchasing 6 or 7 bottles to try to mix these together. Yeah, I can't read the small print either. Okay, cool. Well, I know you can look this up online and you'll be able to see the entire thing. Plus, you have the phone number. Another one that is really, really good is this one, Magnesia Phos, and that's magnesium phosphate. Now, this is more for spasmodic, cramping pain. Um, Hand pain, Charlie horse, leg cramps, well, I know you don't have those, but you know, muscle spasms, twinges, coughs, colic, hiccups, neuralgic pain, sciatica, neuritis, backache, better with warmth and pressure. So, better with warmth and pressure, specifically, would be an amelioration of symptoms. Hey, no problem, man. This is what I live for. People get pissed off at me, you know, because I'm too serious or speaking about controversial products. I try to lighten it up and be funny, but people say, nah, you're sarcastic because we don't like your voice. It's like, well, dadgum. I can't win for losing. All right, now, you know that doesn't matter to me, right, BBB? This is, this is between me, my mission, and my creator. So I try not to get down with the other stuff, and people like you and other friends, you know, even if one person, if you can reach one person and help somebody, it's worth it. So I appreciate you. The last one I brought, most people are locked into play. You ain't kidding. That's what this daggum show is. We're not playing right. Now, this last one I brought, you don't need this, but I'm just showing you because it's in my hand, okay? Silica. Now, silica is what you would call like a cleanser. It removes different buildups within your system as you're dealing with whatever it may be. Usually they show up as skin ailments, you know, when you have, say, an over buildup of something interior. But I like the silica. It's a nice cleanser. Now, I'm going to hit go on our video again. And if you want to ask me any other questions about that, I surely will address it. But here again, write that number down, my friend. Call Luties. I always think that name makes people think other things. Luyties. And it's 1-800-homeopathy. It does say you can get a free catalog. See that right there? Back in the day, you used to send them $3.95 and they sent you a book. So I have no idea what they're sending you now for free. I would be interested in finding out, though, if you go down that path.
Because you're mine. So, let's say that you're really a great manifester.
Ah, is there a website?
You're a master manipulator.
I don't know. Find out for me.
You throw down a spell.
I'm not sure.
You know, do your dance, sing a song.
Hey, you gotta remember, I'm your computer idiot savant. I hadn't been online. My 4th anniversary is coming up, August 28th. I don't know if you've heard that story yet, but you probably should. It's amazing.
It originally starts on higher ground, in my opinion, as a woman that's had a lot of really beautiful relationships. And in the meantime, okay, so you're done with somebody. Are you done with them because they're an asshole? Are you done with them because of what the world did to them? Are you done with them because you're devoted to something else? See, most people don't even want to
I
ask
won't breathe
that.
a word of it.
They'll just stay married to that same
I hear
one
you.
person their whole time and do the stuff behind the back. Kooky. Well, sometimes it's not
I'll be
kooky.
right back.
In some lineages, it's completely normal to be bound to somebody, but you're not telepathically linked up. So you can go out and do whatever you need to do in order to keep everything cool for the kids at home. And surely that's important. That's why our kids are so well adjusted. Alright. So I think I've covered Kooky, but if anybody has any questions. Oh, and one more thing about Kooky. The more people, and I'm sorry, call me Kooky if you think I'm wrong, but all these people, man, that are being born with several screws loose. Let's just put it that way. Some didn't match up in the DNA, the brain, whatever. Or both parents were saturated with parasites and they didn't know it. And I know it's real. And I've seen, I remote viewed one gal's baby after it was just born and it was in the NIC unit, you know, the ICU, and it was all little and red and stuff. And I could see the parasites crawling on the outside of it. Yeah, so in my earlier remote viewing, I about fell out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But no, I mean, and I know it's not a joke. Always gotta put humor to it. Susie Sirius is back, by the way. I was trying to do the comedy tour with Funny Sonny. And, I'm not laughing today, although it is really cute. So let's go on to cute. I'm gonna shut up, play an opening to an intro. Now, this is important because I got all these friends from all around the world. And, like, I got one guy that wants to talk to me in actual symbols, like some kind of script or something. I don't even know what he's saying. Now, let's say that I'm talking to people from Canada. I'm talking to a lot. You know, it was part of the original program and the plans to divide us so we wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. And so now I'm seeing the Tower of Babel in my head, right? One landmass, and it's the fucking Tower of Babel, and you got 6, 7, 8 languages going on, and nobody speaks Taco because, you know, English is the only language. And my buddy from Canada told me this. I don't even know his name. I have to introduce you as his channel. Rail, Tay, Canada, Olay. But anyhow, he told me
Already gone too,
he only
BBB.
speaks Spanish and Italian. Well then, how come I'm typing in English and he fully understands the words coming out of my big mouth? I'll tell you why. Because whoever's been dealing with me from the go, you know, the money.
Yeah. His channel was taken down because he was uploading thousands of relevant intel pieces.
Right, Boots?
Yeah,
It's just like talking to an
right.
animal.
But
The other day,
you gotta be there when it
here's what I saw on the
happens.
news. You want to talk about
And then, if you take a
twisting
recording of it, you'll still have the
everybody
evidence to
loves
help
their
people.
dogs 'cause, you
And
know,
that's
your
all we're
horse
doing
is
with each
GOD
other.
and yakety yak. And now people dress
Get
their
that
dogs in
information up,
berries, do
save
all
it,
sorts of things
live
with them,
stream
put them
it,
in purses.
do something
Um,
with it.
and they're
Put it
so
in a
smart.
file, try to
Well,
keep it,
they're smart
because it's a war.
because they use their sixth sense, man. It's all of them, you know, all five rolled up into one. You go poof, you give it a kiss from Mother Earth, and they're smarter than the average human these days. Okay, so here we got a dog,
Yes, exactly.
and the dog's made the news because the dog can pick out the kibble
But
under the cup
I really
and they play
do
the cup game.
think we're going to have some relief soon.
And I'm
Right, you
sitting
do
there
what you can.
saying,
I hear you, man.
the dog smells where the kibble is. But
That's how I feel
they're
too about
implying
this.
that the dog knows because the dog's eyes follow the cup. The dog's eyes didn't follow the cup, the dog's nose followed the cup.
Right.
So, see, I got these cups on the table, right? And don't tell me I manifested these cups alone, because I promise you somebody else, the other the other side of me. Let's call it that twin flame, because I'm pretty balanced already. I've already been through the diagnostics, dadgummit. I've already done the work. I don't know what to say. And I've experienced it in human form. So, now I got this challenge. And under these cups are these different personas, which are fragments of the highest, um, the best you could be. My buddy Aug Tellez was just talking about it the other night. And hey, Aug, I don't even like this guy that's talking shit on you all the time. Who's he? Who's this Gary dude? I mean, I've watched a few of his pieces, and you know what? I want to tell him to blow me sideways, so I thought that I'd take that opportunity, because he doesn't love himself, and he doesn't love anybody else, and he's angry. And I know that you and Shane know. There's a group of those dudes that wear the beards, and they all look the same. Like when I saw this dude, I almost thought he was Z. You know how when people go, oh, they all look alike? They all look
I
alike.
do too. I love
What's up?
Og.
And is that why you two ran from that group? I don't know what's going on.
Og
Because you both,
is one of
you
those
and
guys
him, no matter
that
what
got
kind
the
of stuff you're
heavy
talking about or what you're involved in or how scary
download
your
of
videos,
all the shit going on.
you always got the love
And
in
he
your
was
heart.
behind the
And
scenes
if
when
I'm
they were
wrong, somebody needs to tell
spellcasting
me
on
because
me.
I am a love detective.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
And he
spiritual
made his
detective.
choice. And,
Oh, and I'm not supposed to love more than one
yeah,
person. Now,
right. Here, let me turn
see, I
myself
think
off.
this all
Hang
goes
on.
back to the beginning.
Believe it or not, Justin, well, I want to call you Justin because it's just BBB. So, see, I've already started. I have to pull myself back and just call you BBB for now. Or how about BB? Can I call you BB? I'm sure he scares the shit out of Okay, check this out, BB. Can I call you BB? Is that alright? That's what my head wants to do. But anyhow, um, Og was the one that said to me that where he knew me from and where they knew me from was that whole incident back in 2010. If you follow his work, you probably smell what I'm stepping in. Some kind of ship. Just or Justin works, please. Well, I want to call you Just then. Is that all right? I like Justin too. I'll keep it in my head. All right. Or you could just say just Justin. Ugh. All right. Well, anyhow, I was there, they say. Now, you know I have no memory of this for real. And I've got a memory like a steel trap. They know that. But they also know that with as much trauma as I did suffer, the only way that I survived it was by using my intellect and reason. And see, that's kind of funny considering people mock me because I don't have like a college education, and I didn't kiss ass under one of these gurus or get caught up in all the hubbub that most of my friends got caught up in because, like I said, I wasn't involved in the game or the internet, nor did I ever work for a corporation or a government, so I never just had to sign one of those um, gags, you know, like where you can't say anything even if you were just picking up trash for a government office, you know, whatever. But the only thing he told me, because see, I don't get to know anything, I have to figure it out all on my own, is that basically I resonate and have the same purpose as I have always had, and they knew me by my frequency, which I knew. I mean, I get all that. So, um, Augs took some hard hits under that CW Chanter story, and that's where you get into this global network of people that were puppeted or possessed by what we'll call powers and principalities, which are of this material realm and the astral realm. So, you know, it's that story about do you know who I am and do you know yourself and so on and so forth. And I really, with all my heart and to the best of my capability, seek to do that every day. And I always knew there was no daggum turning back. So it's not like I'm one of these people that's tried to play the game where one minute they talk this way and the next they're flipping around and man, they can't even remember their lies. My mom was a multiple personality, so I learned that it's not about trying to remember your lie as much as if you have fragmented multiples and they all live in the pit, like let's say they live in your being. Well, whichever one is talking or telling the story is the one up at the throat chakra, you know, running the head, running the body, the functions. And when that one goes back down and the next one comes up, I believe the next one that comes up has no clue of what the one prior to it was doing. And that's why there's always too much monkey business. All right.
Of creation, because we were supposed to love this divine creator, or, you know, God, the source, right? With everything we had. But we weren't very good at that. We needed a helper. So now you got the story. Plus, I mean, God's a passionate entity, man.
Yeah, I know.
God wants to feel it.
The no turning back aspect also. Yeah.
Now you got some humans.
That heart space, right.
And the humans are saying,
sadly,
well, we want to love each other. I mean, we want to let you experience this. I mean, we're cool. We're down with OPP. Whatever, you know? And then it gets all fucked up from the start, right? So in the meantime, back to the COOKY kind of love, it's some kind of legal contract. Some piece of paper that don't mean squat. Because if nobody is sovereign, then you can't give yourself to each other in marriage, can you? Just voids the whole thing. It's just a song and dance. And then people stand up there and say, you know, till death do us part. And then my buddy Meatloaf steps in. And he says, you know, I'm praying for the end of time. That's all I can do. Praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you. And wouldn't that make anybody want to cry? That sat through the commitment of marriage, the ups and the downs, the richer and poorer, if they think that when the first one quits breathing, that the gig's up. Maybe that's why there's been a war in the heavens too. I know it was Mars that had to blow up Marduk because Marduk was going to blow up the whole solar system. Well, shit. right above us. No wonder we all got amnesia. See, they say we got hit on the head from all the stuff that fell. You know, the war in heavens was in the atmosphere. Alright. So I got a disorder.
I just missed what you said. Oh,
I mean, really?
man.
Okay.
I never
We're
know
in a
how to get
matrix.
that back. Let's see.
We're having all these exchanges with
No,
people
not
and
that.
animals and Mother Earth.
Wait, how do I do this?
And this
Hang on.
technology. But
Live
either way we
chat.
go, we're forced.
Right.
Okay? You will either be assimilated like Rex
I
says on
had
the
a
Leak
hard
Project,
time when I first started waking
or
I had a hard time when I was first starting waking up. I still didn't get to see the whole thing.
you let go of every one of your fucking fears and experience your version of what I've been going through. I know it doesn't really fit into the schedule very well. It's kind of fucked up. Hey, man. Long time no see. I want a fucking peace flag, dude. Y'all still sew them up? Hi, Nicholas. Talk about a good couple of people. Dude and his wife. Let me tell you a
I
story.
must keep faith in the law.
I mean, this
and
is
I
twisted.
kept.
Now, I don't know if you know
But
it,
I
sir.
just keep faith
I mean,
in
I'm
the
not
law.
using your whole name because I don't want to put you out there like that.
Yes,
There's a lawyer that
that
gets
does
pissed
make
every time I
sense.
disclose what's going down in Florida.
And the law of the universe and cosmic law
Anyhow, let me tell you a
far
story about a
outweighs
couple. So,
this
we got this young
lawlessness
couple.
that we have to deal with
They got in the
because,
house, and they remind me of how I
you know, we're at the end of the hell part.
on Highway
I really believe
367.
that.
You see,
It's not like we're getting ready to go into the hell.
you had to park
It's
on
we're
the
coming
highway.
out of it.
Somebody was going to hit your
Natural
car.
universal law,
These
tag
guys
it,
are in a
confirmation of
situation
spirit,
like that, right?
absolutely.
So one night, my daughter, who's now a major escort of the highest kind, and left every bill in her mama's name. Can you believe that, Nick? After all the good things that y'all did for her and that we did for her, she won't even take her debt and bills and bullshit out of my name, dude. You want to talk about pissing me off? She has such a hard ass that if you didn't try to spank it with your hand, you'll get one of them veins that pop up. And I never wanted to.
Hey, I'm talking about my middle daughter, Justin. Um, my middle daughter is 22. I still need to do that video. I want to get that rap song, you know, she put it in her mama name, and pull out all the legal documents, all the lawyers looking for all the bullshit. I don't believe in hell, right? We're going into Aquarius. Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what. Like, you know, when I think about the walk I've had in this life, this reality, and think about my poor kids. I mean, and knowing that we're so much more than just what we appear to be and what the purpose is, and I think about, you know, my daughter. I mean, they inducted her into a gang. She had no choice when she was 15, and once you're in, you know, there's no turning back. We have to go back to that theme. So, who I'm communicating with here, she was driving at 5 in the morning. She wasn't under the influence. She's a bad driver, and she was up all night. You know, and what's up with these square people that make all these stupid decisions that wind up selling themselves? But anyhow, she hit these people's car, man. And she was tore up from the floor up. They didn't press charges. You know, we supported her. The whole thing, and now she doesn't even talk to us, but that's okay. And you know, I've led so many different lifetimes in this one life of 53 years. That's another reason why they're interested in let's say, studying my survival skills.
I hurt my hands because I'm an artist, and y'all know I work with my hands. So, let me tell you why they call me the sexy little crab. Because I like to pinch. I don't want to punch anybody. I don't want to shoot nobody. But Warren was so ornery. Oh,
Be right back. I'm gonna get some tea.
man, I wish I could say your name proper, Mr. Neri. Well, anyhow, so my daughter, before Ian could talk, she'd like to hurt him. Audio's cool. Right on. Maybe Mr. ComputerHead approved this message. What do I know? But anyhow, Warren, okay, she would set the boy up for a fall every time. And my ex-husband, the turnip, you know, Dopey, the kooky marriage. You know, all I've ever had is a kooky marriage. So anyhow, he said that boys didn't need the same attention as girls. He didn't have any sisters. He grew up with 2 other brothers, and I find out all sorts of weird shit about how they grow up, you know, after the fact that I've already birthed children with this reptilian, this trickster. Look up the name Pratt. It means fucking trickster. How stupid am I? I mean, I'm really pretty fucking smart. Everybody knows it. And I get hoodwinked with a Pratt. Get knocked up. Whatever. So, Lauren. I thought I'm not spanking that ass. It hurts too much. It hurts me more than it hurts her to spank her. And I don't mean emotionally. So I thought, I need to discipline this child. I mean, I was never beaten or spanked hard. I never did anything that deserved to be. Alright. I was a good kid. So, anyhow, I figured it out one day, y'all. Here's what Mama did. She didn't have. I'm not chasing that little kid. You know what I mean? I'm not letting her know that I'm gonna do nothing. Right? So, I came walking up, man. And I pinched that ass. And here's where I'm talking about. You get right under that cheek. Right there. And I fucking grabbed that ass. And I pinched her. Little bitch, you know. Yeah. And then here's what my ex-husband. Well, he was my husband then, wasn't he? All right. So my husband decreed to me, because he was fucking king of the roost, that I'm abusive because I pinched her, and that maybe I should work like 7 days a week. And I had 2 salons at the time. One in the ghetto and one in Crestwood. What a dumbass. I'll have to tell a story after our next music. We haven't even gone to our first video. Talking about love. And I got a client. He always comes early. It's 1:42 now. He will arrive 1 hour from now. I have to do this show in an hour. Alright. We talked about Lauren. We talked about Dopey. So I'm working 7 days a week. Now, I had Lauren in 1996 on St. Patrick's Day. Believe it or not, when I did my first professional video for Trionics Enzymes, I was knocked up and didn't know it. Ain't that fucked up? And I had my hair bleached blonde then, the only time I ever wore it bleached blonde. That's the picture I put up on Facebook with me sitting by my door, shit, all cool. Got some sunglasses on back then too, but I'm bleached blonde. And then I have it over my payphone. But anyhow, um, Ian was born in December, 4 hours after Christmas in the year 2000. So, they were the entrance and the
Hey, are you
exit,
there?
believe
I
it or
am
not,
here.
of my crazy ass working 7 days a week,
Yes. Me
running
and my
2
tea.
salons, drinking. That's when I used to drink and puke.
That was never pretty. Oh,
No, I was
all
never
right,
doing
just. Hey, I really appreciate you being here.
that. It really sucks, you know.
And
Now,
thanks
don't get
for
me wrong, I
thanks for
wasn't
being
losing
you,
when I was
man.
pregnant.
Thanks for being on the
I'm just
mission
saying.
because you know,
I
we
couldn't
really
handle
have
the 10 year
reached
I quit eating meat when all my friends thought I wasn't
that
supposed to
place.
eat meat.
It was at the end of
You know, I couldn't
2015 where we hit
down
that
all those
3.5% of the
cheeseburgers.
population. And we're doing it. Well,
And quit drinking vodka.
I appreciate
I
you
went nuts.
saying thank you to me. And here again,
Isn't that
I
fucking
really
funny?
will be focusing
Anyhow,
on sending you
the
good
reason I
vibes for
got
that
these salons
alleviation of your suffering
is
and
because
get your homeopathy
the
and
sheriff was
let me
always
know how it
saying,
does for you.
Emporium, right?
Try the castor oil too.
You know, acting like he's busy.
You too. Have a great
Are you
day.
kidding me? And at the time he was working part-time and and he thought he was Mr. ComputerHead. I can't even imagine. I know that it's totally fried his brain that I do any of this. He can't even comprehend what I do online, y'all. Wait till everybody sees it and he has to go, I kept trying to help him through the whole thing. You guys know I did. I mean, I loved him the best I could, right? He loved me the best he could because he was one of them fucked up altar boys. You get it? Ding dong. Well, you know what? None of us knew all this deep dark shit till a few years ago when we started being able to deal with it. And the way I deal with it is to talk about it in my life chart and work through it and do all my things to move away from it, you see. And that's why it's so easy to leave somebody like that. To be with somebody that you hang out with every day, you party with, you really love as a person. And I'm reading deep stuff with Rudolf Steiner and putting things together. And off I
2005,
go.
late
Taking my
2005
kids
for the
with me
timeline.
and living a decent life. I mean, there was some years between those two places that I was talking about, having the kids and having the two hair shops, because uh, the lease expired right after I had him. But, you know, I was sliding out as my pregnancy was continuing forward because I was 37 years old and pregnant. Right? Okay. I'm going to let you guys out. I know what you want. Let me play this video for y'all. Wait till you see this. And then I'm going to explain what you're... Well, I'm going to share how I interpret it. And I invite you all to interpret it as well. This film is from the Prelinger Archives, San Francisco. And it's for everybody to use. No problems.
There's lots of things that I want to say.
Just whisper in my ear.
We'll gather cakes of nightlight to bring us good cheer.
Will you buy me wine that's so divine? 'Cause darling, I hate beer.
There's a cafe so alluring where we'll both
Okay, so you hear the opening line. I'm not going to play all the audio, and like I said, it's the Prelinger Archives. This is copyright free. You're free to use it. No big deal. It's for strictly educational purposes only. And we are talking about the subject of love. So here, you have a couple that are in love. They're singing to each other. Life is beautiful. They're on the bench. They're watching the dance at the big show. You got these individual dancers that half and half are dressed in elaborate female and male clothing. Half and half. Right? That's what everybody saw. On the one side, it was a dude, and then on the other side, it's a chick. And they're telling a story. And she's saying, I know you're a Casanova. Now look, all of a sudden it's in the front. And in the back. Look at how sassy this is. Okay, now hang on. Hang on. That's why I tell you guys. The #1 international man of mystery is a genius. Did I mention all footage can easily be manipulated. Also, now let's not everybody think bad about that because, oh my gosh, it's not bad. It's not bad. It is not a bad thing. I just saw something flash up that somebody wants to be in the chat, and I want to say, hey, how you doing? And say that every time I see the green thing that says add somebody, it won't let me. See, Mr. ComputerHead is totally in control of this, and I am computer illiterate. And people can't believe it. And this is all part of the phenomenon. Hi, Tracy. How you doing, baby? We are talking about the 3 kinds of love between men and women. We got kooky, we got common, and we got cosmic. And I've done a short introduction on what kooky is, and I know you can figure that out for yourself. Good Lord. Now, in this one, we're watching Prelinger archive footage, and I was just bringing up the thing that everybody needs to know if they want to play this game is to accept that any and all of these things are changing because this is from a different dimension. Let's take Photoshop. Let's take the advanced art of what they can do with media off the table, because this is about love, and this is about trust, and this is about messages. This is about coded messages, and I am bombarded with this stuff 24/7, and they think it's cute because all these different people are kind of flirting with me and seeing my reactions to these things, and they already know because they know my story. And so, where we're at, in what I think, I'm doing the best I can to bring a show about it today, and I've got a client that's going to come 15 minutes early at 2:45, and I just really wanted to be with my friends. I need to talk about this, and nobody can help me, so it's part of my documentation. So, here they are, they're on the couch, and what you missed, and I will back it up so everybody knows I'm not nuttier than a fucking fruitcake. Okay, so we're going to back up to 46. Now here's what I say. This is programming from a different dimension, and it's been altered by the entity that is in that dimension, and we're moving through da-da-da-da-da, and you gotta act it out here, but it's coming from somewhere else, and we're talking about being the biggest, bestest you that you can be, and what would you do to step into that? And that's what they're tormenting me over. All right. But I said I would do it. I mean, they didn't say it to me like that on September 1st, 2014, because they were amazed I took what I took then, and I wrote it all down. Alright, so, in the beginning of this, they're all lovey-dovey, and they go to the show. So, let's just pick up right here, and we're going to do it again. Now, these costumes are so advanced, we're going to document the idea with our eyeballs that, at first, the costumes were split down the center of the body like Victoria did. Where on the one side, you know, the masculine costume was on, and on the other side was the feminine. But when you came in the door, and when I had turned this video off to make my little comment, well, they had totally flipped to the front and back. And here's what I'm saying to anybody, and we can all agree that we can handle the understanding that technology is 150 more years advanced than what we knew. I know everybody can admit that one, right? Right. Okay. Well, later on in the video, it's completely the front and completely the back. And you're telling me that they did this back in the 30s to the 50s? I mean, I don't know exactly what year this is, and we will check, but I had to get an order together in my head when I committed to live streaming 45 minutes after number one hit me with his best shot. And I'm like, you know what, I gotta talk to this man, and this is how I do it. So, you know exactly who I'm talking to, Adem. And like I told you guys, ADEM does not have to be his name, and probably isn't. It is an identification tool for me. Look, the pretty side, and then here these two go walk, and they're gonna go sit down at their table. Now look, the guy's side, right? Victoria. So they have a costume and people. I mean, this is pretty high-tech shit for back in the day, right? Or I should expect this out of movies in the 30s. What do I know? I mean, I think I've watched a lot of good things over the years, and I never saw none of this stuff. That's why I say it's from another dimension, unless any of you guys saw it. Maybe Mr. Vic saw it. Alright, now they're singing. Look, they're singing. She'll say, I'll go anywhere with you.
Let my arms enfold you and hold you so tight.
Did you just see that facial glitch, by the way? Hey, well, I'm not implying anything. It could be old footage. I don't want to argue with anybody. I'm trying to stop this war between the sexes. And then the whole religious war that's going to be between the patriarchal Jesus one and the Gnostic Sophianic one. See, that's all bullshit. Nobody should be fighting. Everybody told me this shit was over. Now, all these bitches consented to their hair getting all fucked up. Tell me out, occasional purposes only. If anybody wants to do nothing wrong, I'm not gonna do nothing wrong. I'm gonna shut my big fucking mouth. Alright. So there's where you wanna go. And you can check out videos, because I think most people don't know about any of these channels I roll on YouTube.
Right. This channel's already gone, but look at that big A there, Adem. You think I would have picked that up 4 months ago, huh?
Stupid ass videos that are trending.
No problem.
You want to know how much action's going on.
I see it now.
It's really cool. So, look. Note the number of subscribers. Play the game with us. Now, we're just going to work with, because, see, my computer will only allow, oh, there we go. All right. There are, at this time, over 1,700 videos for your entertainment. It's all classics in every subject matter. And this guy, more than anything, wants to bring quality, educational material that is completely nonprofit. He doesn't want to make a dime. Just like me on YouTube. I could give a shit if I ever got a check for 2 cents. Nobody subscribed to me. Come on. All those shows I didn't do it to get popular. I did it because it was my mission. Still is. Oh shit, you mean there's other people on the same mission? Lord have mercy, Adam. Well, today is the Doors Day. I love the Doors. Long before I was into Elvis, I was into Jim Morrison. And I've told the story before. And this is a true story out of the Sue's Hall of Fame. This is a great fucking story. Alright, I'm back. So, check this out. I'm in beauty school. Okay? Hazelwood Beauty College. And one of my best friends, she was so cool. Her name was Barb. And, you know, Barb was a Gemini. And I'm cool with Geminis. Barb was allergic to so many things. She had to get 2 shots in one arm one week and the shot in the arm. You know, they switched arms, right? She was allergic to not only hair, and she was in beauty school, mind you. She was allergic to smoke, and she smoked. She was allergic to grass, and it grows outside. She was allergic to and she was allergic to beer, and she drank. Barb was allergic to everything, and she loved to party, and I loved Barb. And even though she was a great hairdresser, she always cut your hair an inch too short. So you didn't want to go to Barb to get your hair cut unless you wind up with a short bob, and you don't even want to know how bad I fucked up my hair. But that's irrelevant. I've been cutting my own hair for years because I scare everybody. Whatever. Well, anyhow, Barb had a party one night, and I was drunk on my ass. And it didn't take much. Remember, I'm the puker. I'm your good time puker. Between that 3rd and 4th cocktail, man, I'm gonna be in the toilet. Because I don't want to get the spins. I don't even like that. And if I'm spinning, I'm laying down on a bed, I'm gonna be puking. So if I'm gonna be puking, where should I be? In the bathroom. And that's where I was. But I hadn't puked this night yet. That's not the story. In the story, I'm all tanked up. I'm on the 2nd floor. I go into this room. I think I'm looking for the bathroom. Probably. And there was this picture of Jim Morrison. And he was beautiful. I was like, wow. And who's that? Hey, who's that? You know? And Barb said to me, I mean, you know, she came into the room, right? And I'm like, who's that? And she says, you don't know who Jim Morrison and the Doors are. I'm like, no, I don't. Because remember, I was sheltered and I lived in that double-locked house and went to that private school and went to Rocky Horror Picture Show every weekend, and I was the wild one, the bad guy, the kid you couldn't hang out with, remember, from the wrong side of town. So people think I've seen and done a lot of things that I haven't. And even if I was given the opportunity, I wouldn't have. Because I was too busy trying to stay alive, and I done told everybody that. Well, anyhow, I have a long relationship with Jim Morrison, believe it or not. I don't mean like a ghost or anything. I'm talking about loving his music, but at the same time, I'm terrified to unplug this phone, but I need to, so Lord have mercy, help us. Hang on. Alright, we gotta get the dog inside, and I gotta show you what I'm talking about with with Mr. Morrison. Hang on. Come on, you were such a good girl. God love her. She is so good. She's not allowed to leave the yard because, you see, people don't like these kind of mutts, do they now? No matter how good they are, they're a piece of shit, kind of like me. Alright. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So, check this out. And let me just take you up to the ceiling. Okay? When you came to the Hair Emporium, this is what you're looking at. See, I'm laying, hang on. Okay, I'm in the shampoo bowl, see? And you know what? You got these fucking rich bitches that got jacuzzi spas and swimming pools in their house. Why can't I have a fucking shampoo bowl in my house? I've shampooed my family members' hair since 1982. Fucking 1982. Now, I'm in the shampoo bowl, right? I want you to check out this badass chair. Okay, so you can see it curves down and it goes all the way to here. Alright, here's my feet. So you get what I'm saying, right? Let me flip the camera right. Okay. And back up. Shampoo chair. See it? Like that, up to the bowl, right? Now, this is an original chair from the 50s. This is called an S chair, right? Now, we're talking about love, right? Hey, look, we're talking about love. The babies that, you know, would see this getting shampooed, they always focus in, you know, like on one of them specific pictures, and that's what this is. Okay. My thing with Morrison started way back when the Hair Emporium opened because I had a legal barter account with the International Trade Exchange, and then they got greedy and started bartering houses and boats and vacations, and us little guys couldn't play no more because the big guy went down. This is a vintage movie. It would be the billboard at the movie theater. It's cardboard. And so you see fine-ass Jim there, right? Live at the Hollywood Bowl. One of my clients who's no longer in physical form, when he gave this to me about 20 years ago, he made me promise him that I would always keep it hanging up. Now here's what happened. All these people that had all this cool shit, when they grew up, this all became dead to them, just like where Morrison's grave is, right? I don't mean dead in a bad way. I mean they had to put it up in the attic or down in the basement. They had to make room for their grown-up life. So all of a sudden, because I started with this, which was just the centerfold from the Rolling Stone magazine, good grief, and then also this, which was the cover of the Rolling Stone along with Val Kilmer being Jim. Remember? What a fucking trip that was. I was terrified when I saw that the first time. Jim and his story with the witch and the blood rituals and oh my... Now, you want to see something that's a trip. This, and this is a true story. I mean, they all are. I had a buddy named Mike Crowell, and he went to Greenwich Village, and he got this black and white of the Doors, right? And it's hung in the hair shop. Oh, this is one of the early pieces. Do you see that it's not black and white? And I'm sure that the normal person would say, well, that must not be acid-free background you got it on. No, it is. And nothing happened to it. It didn't get wet. And it started changing color. And that is a true story. And that's that. Now, the Pink Floyd stuff, Joe always had. And Joe had the KC stuff. So, you know, like, Joe had some of it in his garage, but when we joined forces, we joined our collections. I mean, this is the one that everybody really likes. The end of the human race will be that we will eventually die of civilization. Well, see, the war is really over love. So now we're back to that. And you know, I mean, humans are to be civilized and have loving relationships. So, I think it connects. This is a limited edition my daughter got me years ago. Whiskey A Go-Go. Of course, over here is the We All Shine On poster. My buddy Joanna, she loves music, and she got me that Stevie Ray Vaughan. I've got a whole bunch in the basement. I couldn't fit it all in this little room. And that's a clean album, obviously. Alright, so that's the end of that. Let me get back into the other room. Look at this fucking picture of Warren. Grooming Joe's beard back at the old shop. Rotten Warren. Ugh. Hey, I made some more jewelry, y'all. I'm wearing a piece right now. And then this is my little display, you see. I'm working. Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to work. Wait. Hey, wait. Can I work with my hands in the house? Are they gonna come cut my hands off? See, these are the bigger questions in life that you can apply to everyday situations, but that's all my jewelry. And there's my fucking fairy tale castle with the angel protecting it. How about that? So, we're back in front of the TV screen. Or computer, whatever. Where were we? Let me just move my face. Oh yeah, I'm telling you about this channel, which really strictly is non-for-profit, like I said, and this is just a good person. But you know, if I like you, I'm gonna start talking to you. Isn't that the point? I mean, see, I respond to these YouTubes, and I also, like, if somebody asks me something, I will give them an answer the best I can, or refer them to somebody that can give them a better answer. And I like talking to these people. I don't get what's wrong with it. And then, of course, like Hellmaker says, shit, you can't stop a comment from coming through with Sue's. And you guys know it's true. I do it on Facebook, and I do it on YouTube. Hey, Robert Phoenix is new right now. It's called The Trash Economy. I love Robert Phoenix. Okay. And is it okay to love all these people? See, that's the whole point of the story today. So now, here we are over here at some channel that he can't understand anything but Ellis language in English, and he only speaks Spanish and Italian, but he's answering me back in English. And now we get into this whole story of oh no, we don't. That's really in the third category, isn't it? I jumped the gun. We were talking about the Doors. So he put this up 4 hours ago. Now, obviously, nobody in their right mind is going to think it's Jim Morrison. And I'm telling you what, I get why nobody wants to believe that I would have the most trained ear for Elvis Presley in the world. Because, you know, I didn't go to somebody's fucking school or kiss somebody's ass, and I have not been to Graceland, nor am I in a fan club. But after seeing my shampoo room and hearing my story about getting to know Jim Morrison and the Doors when I was 20 years old in beauty school, with Barb Cyrilla. I'm going to tell you this isn't Jim Morrison. And if you don't know it by the words to the song, now, this one says, The Doors, Love It Madly. The song goes like this, Mr. ComputerHead. Don't you love her madly? Don't you need her badly? Don't you love her face? Tell me what you say. Debba 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 deb. So, I want to listen to this song, and then we're going to talk about what people call soulmates. Because there's three kinds. Jim Morrison and I are soulmates. So what he's saying is, do you love her madly? So it can't be Jim Morrison, right? Or do you think Jim Morrison forgot the words to the song? And maybe it's one person singing, but you're seeing a picture of something else. You think it could possibly be that? Okay. Let's continue. How about that electronic keyboard there? I don't remember that in the original song either, but maybe they like to add things. I love this song. I mean, this is Adam's voice. One of the Adams. One of them. So, let's say there's somebody out there that says, hey, Suze, you're absolutely wrong. I know that that's Jim Morrison's voice. I was there when they recorded it. Well, I mean, do you think it's the Mandela effect? And now all of a sudden Jim's music is gonna say, do you love her madly? Who's asking the question? And see, that's the thing. Now when it comes to soulmates, you know there's three kinds, right? Well, your first variety, it could really suit anybody, even the categories we're not talking about today. And then you have the karmic soulmates. Now the karmic soulmates, they say that you come together to co-create something and to work on yourself. And you say, okay, cool. Now, back when I was living with Dopey the Turnip, I mean, I never thought we were twin flame soulmates. I mean, shit. He only married me because I was a commodity and wouldn't terminate his offspring. So, when we're talking about karmic, it could really be for really great things. It doesn't have to be bad. And it's just like right now, what we're deciding to focus on now. Here's where it gets tricky for a bitch like me. If you already know you can manifest, and you already know that you're walking between dimensions, well, what are you creating in your time? And that's what I keep getting asked by Funny Sonny the comedian, and by everybody else. And so now I'm supposed to talk about that, right? Give Suze a little more rope, let her hang herself. Because this is all an experiment anyhow. And we want this intelligence that's taken over to at least know what somebody that can love, how they register. Alright. Now at the same time, I'm going to say it again. The person, there has to be a human that is orchestrating that intelligence.
See the glitches?
There has to be. They've already established it. I don't want to argue with anybody. And that is the reason why I smile a lot. Let's be serious. I started out calling him Mr. ComputerHead. Early on in the adventure. Everybody knows it. Well, now, for example, when I started reading Steiner, and I really became as conscious as I could in that moment, I knew that my intention was always going to be up for inspection, let's say. And when you're karmic with somebody, you always want to be in your best intention. Good grief. And I knew that from the go, and so did Joe. And we both survived very hard lives. And we always loved each other. Friends first, as everyone should be, in my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. But in my opinion, if you have a karmic soulmate relationship, first and foremost, you're friends with somebody. And then it develops. And whether or not anything is permanent, now we're back to the fear about love. Because everybody knows that nothing is permanent, supposedly. And 9.5, well, actually 9.9999999 out of 10, you're gonna lose it. And people have to accept that. I mean, I think that everybody that is above a 12th grade level of experience should have already figured that out. They should have already suffered loss and trauma in their family, and in their teenage years, surely their soul's at the forefront of the experience, and it's deciding why the person believes what they believe. Do they have any evidence that supports their Hegelian dialect, hopefully with themselves, which is the thesis, antithesis, and the synthesis. And most people are mind controlled, not only by dark, sinister forces behind the scenes, oh no, but by themselves. And that's why I'm getting the fucking poking the bear treatment with being trapped in some emotional state. I absolutely disagree with that statement. Of course I disagree. And I know better. So, if I can't know my own experience, then surely, whoever knows it better than me, and there's only one person that could be, and that would be the International Man of Mystery. I mean, why can't we talk about it? Oh, he's shy. And it's a big orchestration, really. And then I'm supposed to be scared of it for a minute or something, or feel guilty. I mean, these are all the programs that are running. Isn't it interesting? What a great sociological experiment. And I'm cool, because I have no secrets. And I'm getting messages now. And I want to ask any of you, could you be as committed as I have been to a very deep, intimate relationship with someone that I've never spoken to, received a letter or an email or a phone call from, and have never seen eye to eye? I mean, if anybody has, let me know. Now, it's easy for me to do that, because I did the same thing with who I think is my divine creator, believe it or not. It's true. And I did that here at the Big Yellow House after the tornado, and before I talked to my friend Tamara Moorfield from high school, Tamara Lucero, Tammy Moorfield, aka the Baden Girl. Okay. Well, anyhow, that's a pretty big commitment. Like when you say to what you believe is God, yeah, I fully commit myself to you. You know, use me however you need to. I mean, I'm yours. Whatever you are, this thing with no body. And of course, I mean, come on. People don't even do that when they're in church all the time. Too much dogma there. Too much spiritual activity. You're not even supposed to entertain these kind of things. Are you fucking high? What's wrong with you? Well, come to find out, there's nothing wrong with me. There's been some kind of first contact thing going on. I know that. Duh, I'm experiencing it now. This is way into the cosmic kind of thing, isn't it? But, we're still back in the karmic thing because, here again, surely it must be karmic. And that's for the highest purpose in this case. Especially when you're already involved with who you've publicly announced as your twin flame. And I don't think I should have to feel bad about that either, for the record, because you have to act it out in a physical manner before a non-physical manner can come hit you upside your head. Puts me in a tough situation, doesn't it? Who's this on the phone? Hang on a second. Have some of this.
All else is a distraction for what I'm going to say in a moment.
Sure. My buddy Aug.
It is
The
the
time
reason
machine.
for all of this. It is what is protected. It's the secret. This is what the secret societies know. This is what we found in the underground bases.
Mhm.
This is what the bloodline families have protected for this long. All the spooky wooky stuff is either a distraction or simply a means of maintaining energy while this is known in order to keep the system going. There's no way to explain this, but I'll do my best. They found a device, a machine.
Okay, alright. I love Og. But, I mean, I've already discussed him enough about love. So, let's talk about Og for a minute. He'd definitely be a karmic soulmate. Because he's the one that said, yeah, Suze, you were there on the ship in 2010. You know, all these people that know me in this story, and I get it now, and see, so now we're dealing, karmic soulmates are in human form, but they're your spiritual family. Does that make any kind of sense? And believe me, I didn't have words for this even before I came on today, and now I'm just getting a little more grounded in all this as we go along here. Alright, cool. That's enough. I feel better. Alright. Here we are back at the channel. Now, let's talk about my little day and what I've learned. So, you got some really cool stuff here. I mean, vintage music. We've got Johnny Cash. We've got Ray Charles. We've got some movies. I mean, for anybody that really likes a good movie. And then I've watched 2 movies. Now, one of them was King Lear with Orson Wells. And let me show you what I did that was really dopey. And of course, I don't mean to be dopey when I talk, and I think we'll take into consideration language barriers. So, let me play this quiet. And this is from Ray Ultra Canada, and it's REOLTRE Canada. This is my new friend on YouTube. We have these deep conversations. Okay, now look at what I do because I love people that I don't know. And I guess I'm kind of in my comedy skit right now, but I'm really trying to be serious because it's important to me. Hi, Ida. Okay, so I watched this King Lear thing, and I've never seen it before, right? But I know that this is an important spiritual family member that is on the same frequency, and we're tuning into each other. So I say, okay, I'm going to watch this thing. Well, it was confusing to say the least, and so I like to respond after I watch something, especially when nobody's commenting but me. And isn't that fucked up? When you're the only person commenting, and you're trying your best, and you could screw it all up. So here I go. I said, bravo for sharing this piece. I was a complete virgin too, because I had never seen it, you get it? And I speak very coded, because I think I'm good at it. What do I know? I said, never sat through King Lear, spoke many words I have to process through, twisted to say the least. Think it fits into some timely questions and answers, hopefully. The war stuff all has to do with this battle of the sexes, power and control, bloodlust and sacrifice, which is something which, if watched enough, I guess would get folks terrified and fear-filled towards the subject of love. They say I have a disorder from loving too much. Sure, it's Friday. Have a lovely weekend. Now, just now, I'm realizing my mistake. So let me tell you to you real quick because I'm a dumbass. And it's a lot to take in. I know that people go, Susan's too much. Alright. But you see, I shouldn't have said this because this didn't pertain to these videos. What I was saying, all the war stuff you've kicked up on YouTube over the last 2 days, I have not had the time to watch the stuff about World War II. But I didn't do that. I flowed from this video, which ended with this sentence. Think it fits into some timely questions and answers, hopefully. See, I should have stopped while I was ahead. But I don't do that because it's so real to me as it's going on, and I want to say everything to someone that I'm building a foundation with, you know? And that's one of my downfalls. One of my many downfalls, guys. So, anyhow, here's what he says to me. Oh, Lord have mercy. Here's what the guy that can't speak the English says to me. So, Suze Pratt, the holistic stylist, I think you're joking. Oh, fuck. If you're referring to this YouTube channel, that looks for educational material which is not compromised by copyright, it does not want to be my psychological profile.
That is
It's an
funny.
educational channel.
Oh, shit.
To dream Ophelia that has had an impact in the form of an extratropical cyclone in Britain and Ireland for an American woman. Maybe it can be a solidarity for the Anglo-Saxons The fact of having on YouTube King Lear was interesting. I missed William Shakespeare in my channel. Do you guys see that? This is, the first time you see it, it's like in What the Bleep, where the native and the enlightened one, the shaman, are standing on the beach and the waves are coming towards them. And the native looks out at the water and can't see the boats where the shaman can see the boats. And the shaman has to break it down to the native that you didn't have a definition for something you had never seen before, which is a boat. And that boat out there tooting around is why the waves are coming in at us. So I just got the wave coming at me of what I actually did. Isn't that amazing? And I try to answer several videos, if not half a dozen. How about that? I need to go back to, I don't know. But is anybody experiencing this? I think it's a trip. Okay, so here's what I said now after I read it the first time. So I might have to laugh at myself again, I'm not sure. I said, last thing I would ever want to do is stand in the way of education. My head is spinning, my friend. Some think me a joker, so if the shoe fits. Oh my goodness. So, the other night, let's just do an experiment. The other night, funny and, the sunny siders. See, all this stuff is connected. And it has to do with the International Man of Mystery, Mr. A.P. So, this cosmic, thing, which has been going on since September 1st. Every bit of it, from scoop to nuts.
Here, let me give you cosmic color. Hang on. Let me see what I can do for you guys.
Force. And all I want to know, all I'm asking, is to
Yeah, I like this one.
person.
Dance party.
And then every day, I'm put off. And every day they laugh. And every day they tease. And every day they prepare. And I'm supposed to be normal. Something's going on I don't fully understand. I know, Brandon, you're new. You don't have any back knowledge on what the fuck I'm talking about. Where some people actually know, but they can't say anything because they're already involved and they think it's funny. So I don't think you're one of those people. And I'm sorry that I can't explain it. Man, I don't know what to say. September 1st is your birthday, bless your heart. So you're a Virgo, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. But, they like to tease me because I'm a Pisces and because, my sign is supposed to be completely lost in the terrors and nightmares and delusions and double secret lives, you see, because we've experienced all the signs. And, like Linda Goodman and... Is it Linda Goodman? Anyhow, each sign has a way that they must experience love that is relative to your... one of the many facets of your age, how you learn to love. So say my dad, the Aries. It was all about he learned to live in love like a baby.
And it was beautiful. And it was unconditional. But it was childish as all get out. Very playful. He always had new and innovative ideas. But he just couldn't seem to execute them. I used to call it wasted talent. Because he was hurt as a baby. I mean, he had a gimpy foot and nana boo-boo and nobody loves him, and his mom couldn't play with him because she never recovered from birthing his funky ass. You know, the negative blood used to kill people. A woman, negative blood, marrying a dude with positive blood. But see, if you weren't noble, well then they didn't know that that blood didn't mix because they didn't put it on the sword and do the little fucking ceremony and yakety squack. Because if you were important, like the International Man of Mystery, surely all this fucking astrology would be involved. They'd be doing charts, and anybody that didn't know, see, all my shit lines up. I already done tried to tell people. They said, we better bury this bitch quick. And that's your buddy Suze. What time is it? 2:45. Hey, my regular client is getting ready to come. And he, used to work on all the jet engines at, fucking the airport, right? But he's so lost, and even though he looks young, age-wise, he's old. Plus, they beat him up and spit him out. And he trips out on this computer shit. So, I am gonna end the live stream, but before I do, you know what? I got some cards to pull. And we'll read about them later. I'm not gonna have time because he's gonna cut me off, I'm sure. Divided into 3 piles. Yeah, I used to do tarot cards. I mean, I was just opening the hair emporium. I was young. I was running with this psychic, a beautiful, spiritual, Christian celebrity psychic named Mama Lil. And she said that I was going to continue on her work and consider that my karmic soulmate, the guy that got me pregnant, said he couldn't because he had like a big vein in his balls. The doctors told him. Well, I got knocked up and he told me to offer. Here he comes. Hang on. My client.
Oh.
No big deal.
The first time client?
No.
Oh.
No. Fucking Steve. Alright. So, anyhow. We're gonna see what these cards are all about later. But we surely know what my focus was today, right? So, I didn't need to do any magic tricks or sit back and say, this is what I want to ask. Does everybody think that Mama did a decent job? Oh, and by the way, this is one of my new necklaces, right? So we've got my Grandma Opal, which is my dad's mom, her antique buttons on a blue leather cord with this fucking jingle ball. Pretty cool, huh? So, I've got a lot of talent and a lot of skill, and this man knows this. While I'm dealing with this crazy-ass war. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, baby. And I don't want this war no more between the sexes, and surely, if this dude's running around going, keep your hands off her, she belongs to me, and singing songs, and taking me through these mazes, and every other thing that you would think he'd know where Ferguson was. Oh, but no, I can't get visited by a real person, because he's shy and he really doesn't speak English, and he only speaks taco. I don't think so. And everybody's in on him.
I mean, you know, if you're in on it. Maybe you're not in on it. Maybe I am completely in the twilight zone and all of my experience doesn't mean shit when it comes to love. Thanks, Tracy. So, I think I know about love. What am I supposed to do? And look, there's more than one of these dudes. That's the most fucked up part about it. This is where I see my fan. Here, wait. I'll just put something in front of my face, alright? I can't barely take it. Now, there's more than one of these guys. And that's why I said earlier, they're gonna have some kind of fucking comedy show where I gotta know who's who. And who sings which part. Can you believe it? And I just heard them laugh behind the scenes because, see, they're on me all the time. I'm serious. I got the proof.
Lord.
You got my message. And I'm going to pull the cards now. And we'll see what the cards say, won't we? First card. The Grail Knight. Second card. The Raven. Third card. The Wind Fairy. Now, I don't really know what this means. And then, you know, half the time, oh, because there's more than one. Okay, so the one dude, here, this is very important if you're playing the game with us. The one dude says, it's written in the stars. The other dude says, forget about the stars. And they're both right. Do you get it? That's fucked up. I'm not fucked up, don't get it twisted. And at the same time, I keep trying to tell everybody that you can either be an evolved Pisces or an unevolved Pisces. And I got the memo on that as a fucking teenager. So, anyhow, I've seen movies, I've been through dances and songs, I've been told hurry up and wait, you know, whatever. So, we'll see what the cards say later. And I'm waiting on a haircut. Until then, I'll find something to entertain you. Because I'm funny like that. Okay. I'm gonna just put these over to the side. Yeah, this thing is done, but what a great $10 investment. This is nuts. This King Lear. Alright, so this is Orson Wells. And it's 19. Now see, this is confusing. It's a television production of King Lear starring Orson Wells, produced in 1953. If I had to make my guesses, I would have thought that it was earlier than 53, but I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground. And in this story, this dude's got 3 daughters, no sons. And they're each married, of course, or involved with different dudes. And the combination of 2 out of 3 of these couples, you know, because they're going to inherit the king's stuff or something. Did I mention I never ever seen King Lear my whole life? And I only watched it once. I need to watch it again because obviously I'm thinking about it an awful lot if I'm putting it in the wrong message column. But, see, there's all sorts of debauchery and bad things and trauma. And this dude is the jester, as you can see. And of course, he keeps the old man happy. Let's jump ahead a little bit. Now, this guy, I think, is like, okay, alright. So, this is one of his daughters, and she's nuttier than a fucking fruitcake. But, you see the bad side of the king or something. What's this mean?
Daddy, well, that was like a good song.
You're a good girl, but you don't need to be like that.
Okay, so he looks like he is agitated, right? Okay, he says, "Oh, let me not be mad." And does love make you crazy? See, I never really thought like that. I always thought love was the reason for life, and life is love, and love is life, and blah, 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 blah. And it gets me in all this trouble. Probably have to have more than one talk, huh? So, they go to jail, and there's all sorts of hubbub, and more trouble, and grief, and fucking lies, and fights. Look at this shit. I think it starts about here. Yeah, he's pissed about something. Oh, my client's here. Alrighty then. So, nope. You're not Steve either. Alright, cool. Alright. I was ready to shut it down for my clients so I don't freak them out. There's a wheel in this deal, and I was thinking about the wheel of life and the cards.
Out to study half an hour, his back stands in a shorty toss. Take up his I will keep still with my philosopher, make photographer, and wear out your feet out.
This is Orson Wells.
And tells me, Nero is an anger in the little darkness.
This is wise.
Very innocent. Beware the phone.
But what does this have to do with love, Suze? I'm just showing him a movie, man. And he's, look at, his brain got all fucked up. Okay, so his brain has been split.
Give me an ounce of civet, good apothecary.
And this guy got poison put in his eyes, so he's blind.
Let me kiss that hand. Let me wipe it first.
And those bad people put poison in his eyes. So you got the two couples that are wicked.
Oh, this ruin.
And then, check this out. So the army comes and gets him off the boat, takes him to the hospital and sews him up. And then you get this. Now those are the bad guys.
Some officers, take them away.
And his daughters.
Guard them. Till their great oppression best be known to God's attention.
Okay, so the good daughter. And you know, they would be soulmates. And they say that, you know, your family members are different people to you. And that's how love gets twisted up too. So here we have a daughter and a father going off to die together in the prison. Alright, so they say a big speech and they're going to prison.
like birds in a cage.
They're gonna sing like birds in a cage
Now the
together.
dark keep blessing. I'll kneel
So
down.
see, it's really important when you find out who each other are to each other that you don't freak out.
Pray and sing.
She could have been his
Tell
mom
old tales
in another time.
and laugh at gilded
He
butterflies.
could have been a girl. She could have been a
Hear poor
dude.
rogues talk of
They could be anybody to each other in the spiritual family. And now they're in this,
winds whose head.
yeah, I know, I gotta go. I'm getting too deep in the tunnel for time, aren't I, Brandon? See, I always fuck up and do too much. You're absolutely right. But we gotta finish this out because then, otherwise, you don't get the punchline. Well, it's alright. Fuck it. Here's the punchline. All of a sudden they're in prison and he's got her in a body bag saying she's dead. Can you believe that? She's dead. Just like that. And then, I mean, well, what the hell did I watch? So, I'll watch it again and I'll talk to you guys later. You're absolutely fucking right. Alright. It's me, Suze, signing out for another show. And just sending you appreciation, love, light, and hope for peace from the third cosmic ray in Ferguson. Yeah, everybody loves Steiner. Oh, no, they don't. They keep talking about Blavatsky. Get on my last nerve. Well, that's no big deal. People are just stealing up intellectual property and being fools. That's right.